WWE must do this with CM Punk in 2025. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what they have to do and why it is so important that they actually go through with it. Look, CM Punk, he has been in the middle of a feud with Seth Rollins. Most notably, they had a match on Raw on Netflix premiere, a match that many people thought was a WrestleMania match. In fact, you go back a year, it was a match in which was planned for WrestleMania. CM Punk returning to WWE in November 2023 at Survivor Series, automatically setting up the match, the feud with Seth Rollins. They did promos, they did off-camera stuff, they did social media engagement, and heated exchanges. Punk going on to the Royal Rumble only to get injured, derailing WWE's plans for him to challenge Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 40. Instead of competing against Seth Rollins at that match, he actually sat on commentary watching Seth Rollins go at it, and ultimately seeing him lose the world title to Drew McIntyre, another heated rival. Then Damian Priest cashes in Money in the Bank on Drew after Punk cost Drew, and then they go and they segue. Punk goes into an epic multi-month feud with Drew McIntyre that leads to a multi-PLE match type feud, right? From your strap match at Bash in Berlin to your Bad Blood match at the Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, and now Punk is back into a rivalry with Seth Rollins. A match being aired essentially on free TV, I guess, or a streaming platform. That's pretty epic. That's pretty a big deal. But there's also other things that WWE can do with Punk in 2025. There's a lot of them, but in my opinion, there's only one that stands out. One that has to be circled, underlined, and checked. Sure, he can share the ring with Cody Rhodes, our undisputed WWE champion. That would be a major match, would it not? How about Roman Reigns? They already teased that. Him coming back and doing a favor for Paul Heyman. He's still going to cash in on his favor from Paul as well to help out Roman Reigns in the OG bloodline. But the thing that sticks out to me the most is actually a pretty obvious one, but I feel like most people would agree that it's something that he has to do. It's the fact that in 2025, we will see the final full year run, the final year of the legendary John Cena. Cena's retiring at the end of 2025, going on a multi-city, anywhere from 35 to 40 date run with WWE. I think we have to get one more match between CM Punk and John Cena, and I'll tell you why. First of all, we have not got a one-on-one match between John Cena and CM Punk since a Monday Night Raw episode in July of 2012. Sure, they've worked house shows before, and their last televised match together was a 3-on-2 handicap match where Punk and John Cena went over the Shield in December of 2023. Before that, they worked a 6-man tag on the night before on Monday Night Raw, and obviously tribute to the troops literally a week earlier when they teamed up with Daniel Bryan over the Wyatt family. Their last televised match was in February of 2013. John Cena went over Punk in a World Heavyweight title #1 contender match. So, 2013. Over 10 years. Here's the reason why I think it's so significant. When you go back to the early 2010s, you have to look and see where the business was. The business was in a very interesting spot. TNA had just a very glimpse of hope that they were going to do something that would really captivate the wrestling universe, and they never did so. But it was actually Punk who actually got us through that time. 2011 was a bad year for WWE creative. They lost a ton of top stars full time, whether that be Shawn Michaels, whether that be Edge, Triple H, The Undertaker, right? They'd have Batista at that point. There was a lot of talent that were already gone, and you had to rebuild. And Punk took the ball, and he really started to get over as the leader of the Nexus and everything alike. And then he started to become a top-tier guy. And obviously his feud with John Cena in the summer of 2011 helped things. The pipe bomb helped things on Monday Night Raw. The WWE Money in the Bank Championship match, that was a major deal. Not only was it an epic match, one of the best matches in wrestling history, but it also really put Punk on the map in terms of a top tier guy. I think everyone points to the pipe bomb. I point to that match, and he got to show people that he could be a top star. And him and Cena is one of the best rivalries that WWE has ever done, whether it be promos and certainly in-ring matches. Punk gave Cena some of the best matches of his entire career. Now, that's not a shocker because Punk is one of the best in-ring workers in the history of the wrestling business. Regardless of whether you think he's overrated or underrated, I think most people would agree he's a very, very good in-ring wrestler, right? From psychology to movesets to ability, you name it, he's extremely talented. And I think it's only fitting that as we go into 2025 and really kick up the new year, that WWE delivers on the John Cena retirement tour. I don't know about y'all, but like, I'm recording this in early January. It always seems like we're still in the last year. So as I say, we're going into 2025. I'm aware that we're in 2025. But the important thing about the John Cena retirement tour is you don't want to necessarily just have him put over younger talent or work with younger talent. You also want a mix. You want to see him win some. You want to see him lose some. Honestly, I would really like to see him break the world title record and hit number 17. But I also think it's important for him to go back and him at least interact with some of his old foes, right? I would like to see him work a match with Miz. I'd like to see him work a match with Ray. You could go down the list of who else he could work with, whether that be Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, right? Your Randy Ortons. But like in terms of singles matches, I think Punk, I think Orton, I think they're at the top of the list of you have to get those matches done. We have to get it at least one more time. Another thing that I hope that WWE doesn't do with John Cena is like book him in a bunch of tags and six-mans just to kind of get him through the year. I expect it. I just hope they keep it, to a max of like 5 to 7 matches that they do that. But Punk versus Cena, I don't think it's a rivalry that gets talked about enough. I don't think it's a rivalry and a feud in a program that gets its just due. It was such a good time for that era because that era sucked so bad. I was a junior in high school. I was a senior in high school, just trying to make it. And it's like, this product sucked. But anytime you had John Cena come on the screen, anytime you had CM Punk come on the screen, and certainly anytime that you had Punk and Cena on the screen at the same time, you stayed tuned in. You knew there was going to be magic. You knew there was going to be something special. They just have instant charisma. And Punk has openly talked about wanting to do a match with John Cena as part of his retirement tour, actually multiple times. So I anticipate that match getting done.